Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Managed TV. My name's Tom Richards. I'm one of the founders of the platform. Today, we're going to have a look at how a property manager can cope with excess workload and also the stress that comes with all of those outstanding tasks. We are doing this segment today purely because we've seen the latest articles in the media around how many property managers are leaving our industry and some of the reasons as to why they are doing so. So we've gone ahead, thought about the top 5 reasons that can help you to reduce that stress. I'm going to kick off with number 1, which is just purely around organization. So a lot of property management tech doesn't have workflow, project, or task tools. So it means it's very difficult to understand what you need to do and when. It's also very difficult to triage your day and prioritize certain things that can come back and create a headache later on. So one of our most important things is just to simply make a schedule. Get that set schedule in and make it around your day and your timetable and your life. So you can plan ahead with these items and communicate with your team exactly what you would like to do and when. So once you've got that set schedule, put it in your calendar and get them set times. Set times where you're not answering the phone, set times where you're out of the office. Plan things like your routines when you don't have to travel in peak hour. Group them all together, have a little bit more thought around where you are going, when and why, and who you're talking with at certain times. The second will just be around processes. Now, this is a really important thing that a lot of agencies still don't do, but just create checklists for your processes. If you have a piece of software like Managed App or one of the latest property management tech platforms out there, you will have a task system in there. If you don't, then and you use an old school property management server based or trust accounting platform, you can go ahead and use a third-party app like Trello, Asana, or Monday.com. Anything that will help you get your processes down and in front of you, build the templates into them and treat it as a checklist. You can work through that day, you can assign different tasks to different people, but essentially you always feel like you're on top of your workflows when you've got a clear path as to where you've been and where you're going. I also recommend sharing those processes both internally, so all your team know what you're up to and where you're going, and if they can help out, they can. And also externally, educate your customers and clients on what you do, what is your process. Film a little video, talk them through how you do certain things. When you're out in the car, make it personalized, because when somebody understands the schedule that you're running, it's less likely that they're going to be demanding from you in a time that is going to be of high stress or that you're going to be unavailable. The third point is to have a backup plan. So if you can't be there for something, make sure that your team are well aware and that you've communicated that to them. If you've got a backup plan of somebody that can step in and do a routine, if you've got some sort of emergency, whatever it might be, have a think about that and always have that backup plan in place. A lot of property managers scramble to get something done, or they try and squeeze too much into a day, and that obviously causes a huge amount of stress. I understand that sometimes you don't have the staff or the resourcing to have a backup plan. If that's the case, have a think about temps. You've got lots of recruitment companies out there. You can have temps when you need to. If you're looking like you've got a busy month of leasing, get somebody on to give you a hand running around doing those opens, whatever it might be. You've always got those options available to you. Point 4 is an obvious one. It's take some time off. I know it's easier said than done. It is very difficult to find time, but have a look again, use those temps, use some sort of resource where you can have a contract role, somebody to come and give you a helping hand, even if it is just for a couple of days. It's really important, if you've got those processes down pat, to outsource or delegate that work. You can do it when you've put a lot of thought into your processes and that organization of your day, because it's simply a checklist. Anyone with a little bit of experience will be able to come and do your work for you. They can access your details. If you set up shared drives and shared folders and all those kinds of things, there's going to be a much easier process to get someone to step in for part of your day or part of your process. And then the final point is to outsource some admin. So we put this one on one of our last videos where we were talking to principals about how they can save money. So that's a really relevant point when it comes to outsourcing, is you can reduce the cost for running an agency. But for you as a property manager, outsourcing that admin will alleviate a lot of stress and take a lot off your plate that doesn't need to be there. So it's a win-win. You will have a much more efficient day, a much more enjoyable day, and your principal and the agency can actually save some money by outsourcing those administrative tasks to a cheaper offshore resource. So talk to your principal, have a look at your process once you've designed one as to what could go offshore. You'd be very surprised what businesses like UPS and a lot of the other outsourcing platforms, Logic, etc., they will all have a pretty good idea as to what they can do for you. So document that process, share it with one of those companies, and just ask their opinion as to what can go offshore and be taken off your plate. So guys, hopefully you might have already had some of those points in place, or you might have none, whatever it might be. Have a bit of a think about it, rewatch the video, but definitely get those schedules and those processes in place and start to communicate them, not only internally, but externally as well. If you have any more questions or would like to have a list of agencies that are powered by Managed App, please feel free to email us at hello@manegedapp.com.au.